Hello friends, welcome back to Dr. Noor Firdaus Jahan channel, wherein you are trying to explore the world of business management. Today we are continuing with our staffing function of management, where almost all the steps I have taught you. Right, we started from manpower planning, then recruitment, selection, training and development. All this we have already completed. Please view my previous videos for that. And today, the next step in staffing I am teaching you, that is performance appraisal. Very important step. Performance appraisal. You must be thinking, what is performance appraisal? What is performance management, right? It's a subject altogether, so a lot of detailed learning is important. But here I am not there to teach you the complete performance appraisal from HR perspective, but I'm just trying to teach you as a staffing function. I'm teaching you the principles of management course. Under that staffing function, one of the staffing step is performance appraisal. So today's session is completely devoted to performance appraisal. So let us start with this step, performance appraisal, in today's session. So before that, let me ask you, have you subscribed to my channel? If not, do it right now. And please view complete video of mine, then share my videos, like my videos, and don't forget to write comments below the videos. So, and press the bell button. You get the notification whenever I'm uploading the videos. As you know, every day you will have one video of mine, because I don't want that continuity to go in learning. So I ensure that every day I'm loading the video to make sure that your learning is continuous and you become better human being, you become better manager, and you can manage your life as well as your career as well as your education smoothly. So that's a basic purpose behind it. So let us start with performance appraisal. What is performance appraisal? Students, you must be aware of it. I told you the best employee will be selected through selection process, then they'll be oriented, then they'll be trained, and they'll be put on the job. So after they have been placed in the job, whether they are really doing good or not, don't you think you should know? But because if you leave them on their own, some people may not do any job only. They aram se come, sit and go. You don't know they are not doing the job. On the other hand, some people are there, morning they'll come, till night they'll be working only. So continuously they are performing only. That kind of employees also you have. That is why, as a manager, you should know people who really honest and do the job, and people who are dishonest and don't do any job. And you should be able to differentiate between horses and donkeys, or you should be able to distinguish between performers and non-performers, so that if tomorrow any rewards to be given or any motivation to be given, the right people should get reward, the right people should get motivation, the right people should get encouraged to give their best. In case you have not done this performance appraisal properly and you ensure rewarding the wrong person, then all best employee will quit the job. They'll not work in an organization which is biased, which don't know who are the people who are doing job, who are the people who are not doing job, who are just blind about it, and whomever they like, they are giving increment. Such companies, no one wanted to work. That is why, as a company, as a manager, it is my duty to differentiate between the best performers and the worst performers and mediocre performances. So how will I know? I'll get to know this through performance appraisal. Did you get the meaning of performance appraisal now? With the examples what I have given you? Yes, performance appraisal compares an individual job performance. Like X I have appointed, X have done his job for 6 months. So what he have been asked to do, I told him to sell 20 units per day. So 6 months, how much sales he have done. I will compare his sales with his performance. The target given to him was 20 units per month, and 6 months over, whether he have achieved that or not. I will compare, correctly, I will compare the individual job performance with the standard laid down. What he have performed and what was he supposed to perform. I will compare these two and see whether this person is performing or not performing. So it compares the individual job performance against standards or objectives developed for individual position. If he is performing, very good, I'll reward him. If he is not performing, I'll warn him. Or if he is not performing, needs training, I'll send him for training. Or he is not at all improving, I'll ask him to leave the job. All that I can do, I can send him for training, or I can send him home, correct? Or I can fire him. I can do everything. But without appraisal, it is not possible to do. That is why performance appraisal becomes a very important function in staffing, very important function in human resource management, and very important function in staffing. Because until unless you are not able to appraise your employee, you can't take any action on your employees. So that's what I'm teaching you now. So when you want to do the appraisal, two types of appraisals are there. Your boss can see your performance in two ways. One way is the informal appraisal, one more is systematic appraisal. You may ask me, ma'am, what is informal appraisal? Informal appraisal, what happens is, let me take you an example of sales executive who have got the target of selling the 20 units per month. So this is the target I have given it to him. So I am his sales manager. I'll observe him every day. So whether he is honest, whether he goes to the field every day on time, and whether he is selling, and how many units per day he is selling. Every day I will observe without his knowledge. That is called as informal appraisal. And I'll do my own notes on him, and I will maintain that. Because tomorrow I'll get to know whether this person is doing his job or not. So that happens on daily basis as a routine activity of boss. Our manager, he'll be doing it. That is called as informal appraisal. But formal appraisal, the second one is formal appraisal, which is called as systematic appraisal. Systematic appraisal will happen maybe once in a 6 months or maybe once in a year. It may be semi-annual or it may be annual. In a very formalized basis, it will happen where manager will ask employees, bring all your details and come and meet me for your appraisal interview. So this person will carry all his sales and salaries received by him, his pay slip and his target achievement, any reward, any recognition he got, everything he'll carry and he will come. Correct? Everything he'll carry and he will come there and he will start explaining you what you have done. So a very formal interview will be conducted and the manager will see all evidences and appraise his subordinate accordingly. That we call it as systematic appraisal. Hope you are able to understand, students, what is performance appraisal and what are the two types of appraisal. Now, so two types of appraisal. So maybe informal appraisal or you go for systematic appraisal. Now let us talk about yes, so we have seen the meaning of performance appraisal, and we have also seen the two methods of appraisal, that is formal, informal and systematic appraisal. Now let us talk about the four major, the purpose of performance appraisal. Why this performance appraisal is done? So there are four major purposes of systematic appraisal is, the first thing is letting the subordinate know about his performance. See, he is working here, it is his right to know how he is doing and whether boss is happy about his performance or not. So to let the subordinate know what he is doing, performance appraisal is important. The second one, it identifies those subordinates who deserve merit raises or promotion or increment. Performance appraisal only can help you to identify the people whom to be promoted or whom to be transferred or whom to be given increment or whom to be awarded. Without performance appraisal, if you do it, then you are biased. You don't have data against which you are telling people they are best. That is why it's very important. Then it allocates those subordinates who require additional training. So I'll also get to know that some weak performance are there and I have to send to, and while doing the appraisal, I'll get to know that they lack some skills. So for that, it helps me to identify the training needs in them and send them for training. And the fourth one is, it plays an important role in identifying those subordinates who are candidates for promotion. So it helps me, the purpose of performance appraisal is, it helps me in promotion, then it helps me in transfer, it helps me in identifying the needs of training among the employees, and it also helps me to make my subordinates understand where they are working and what is wrong with them, where they have to improve, what is the area of appreciation and what is the area of improvement. So it helps me to tell them that. So that is what is the purpose of appraisal. Then what are the four basic formal appraisal approaches? So here I am teaching you methods of appraisal. So the performance appraisal can be done correct, by using the various methods. Here I am teaching you, there are so many methods. In if you do human resource management course, you learn in detail about the various methods, but I'm teaching you principles of management, only the staffing function. So very briefly I'm telling you 4 approaches of appraisal what a manager can use. The first approach is, as you know, the superior will directly rate the subordinate and tell him whether he is doing a right job or wrong job. So that is called as superior rating of subordinate. The second one is the group of superior rating a subordinate. A group of superior rating a subordinate. So maybe the one person may be biased. So he'll not do alone. He'll form a committee of 3-4 people and ask him to assess the employees. That is called as the group of supervisor. So the supervisor rating of subordinate, or a group of supervisors rating a subordinate. Group is a little bit time consuming, expensive, correct, and it's very difficult. Each one will start blaming each other. So feeling of the difficulties will be there because the accountability is difficult here. So that is what is one of the problem here, and the immediate boss may not take responsibility. He may say, no, the committee did it, I am not responsible for it. So that kind of blaming game may come here. Then the third one is the group of peers rating a colleague. I don't want superiors to rate. The peers only should rate me. 6 sales executives are there. Each sales executive will assess each one of them. Their own peer. Friends, they will assess. Same level people get assessed by themselves. That is called as peer rating. So superior rating, 2 methods, individual and group. Then peer rating, and one more is subordinate rating the bosses. Why only bosses should rate subordinate? Subordinate can also rate the bosses. How the boss is, whether the boss is really good, he cares for them or not. You can assess them very well. Ask subordinate to rate the boss. So these are the 4 methods of appraisal usually we make use of. Then, so either of these method you can use and appraise the employees. But what I feel is, when you're doing the performance appraisal, you should not only know about the appraisal process and appraisal method, but you should also know the difficulties or problems of appraisal. There are some difficulties or problems involved in appraisal. So let me tell you the problems here. Mayer in 1960 have given this problem. He says employees who were formally criticized about their job performance once or twice will stop giving their best. If you tell them, no, you're not doing well, you're dishonest, you don't do well, then they stop working. So that's one drawback of performance appraisal. Then second one is participatory appraisal. A manager and an individual subordinate should set performance goal together and calculate progress towards this goal. So rather than individual know where a subordinate is telling, no, my supervisor was biased, I don't agree with this appraisal, or correct, rather than having that kind of blaming game, why don't you go for MBO method, management by objective method, where let the supervisor as well as subordinate sit together and write down the goals for themselves and see the progress and see how they are performing. So that's the best way to do the appraisal. That is called as joint appraisal or participatory appraisal. So anyhow, I told you there are some pitfalls. So maybe you're going for joint appraisal, but still there are some difficulties involved in appraisal, so that you have to take care here. So performance appraisal pitfall must avoid in order to make their formal and informal appraisal program effective. In order to make your formal and informal appraisal, it will be any method. If you want this to be error free, if you want this to be very effective, so these are the 4 method what you can follow. The first one is shifting standards. The first method is shifting standard. You have to ensure that you have to ensure that never once standards are being laid down, don't increase the standard, don't reduce the standard, then you cannot measure the performance of the employees. So don't shift the standard. Then second one is greater bias. Don't be biased towards anyone. Maybe one subordinate is relative of yours. Maybe he is from your own native. Correct? Maybe he is of your own community. Don't think about all those things. Don't have any bias. You forget about his name. You forget about as an individual. You just see him against his job. And without any bias, you rate him. That will only help you in long run to grow. Then different rater pattern. Don't go for sing, correct? See, sing, you have the same method of doing the appraisal. Every 3 months, new methods if you do, then the stability will not be there and even employees will not be quite happy about it. So avoid that differentiator pattern. The next one is halo effect. Very important error in performance appraisal, which we call it as halo effect. So you may ask me, ma'am, what is halo effect? Yes, halo effect is very important component, students. Wherein what happens is the superior will have bias towards employees based on his background. For example, he thinks that all the people from a particular state are intelligent. Maybe the person who have come here is not at all intelligent, but he thinks that he is intelligent because people from that state is intelligent. That is called hollow effect. Or you may say the people who are short are cunning. May not be true, right? But that is called hollow effect. So that is his mindset. So whenever he take short people, he will not recruit them or he will not give them good rating because he think they are cunning. It's wrong. But after all, rating is subjective because all of us are human beings. We have our own limitations. So bias is quite obvious there. Wherever subjectivity is there, bias is there. So to overcome the bias, these are the certain steps what they can follow, which we called it as pitfalls. What manager can avoid. These are the 4 things what manager can avoid to make the appraisal system very strong. And this pitfall is given by Stooner and Wankel. They have given these 4 pitfalls. If you are the manager and you are following these 4 pitfalls, definitely your appraisal will be error-free and you can appraise your people accordingly. So that is what I have on the performance appraisal, students. So here I taught you what do you mean by performance appraisal, then types of appraisal, that is systematic and informal appraisal, then objectives of appraisal, methods of appraisal, and the problems related to appraisal, and what are the pitfalls one should avoid to make the appraisal very effective. So that's all today. We have completed the staffing, one of the very important function of staffing, that is performance appraisal. Hope you are able to follow that. If yes, please like the video and share my videos to your friends and subscribe to my channel. So with that, I'll end my class here. See you in the next class. Till then.